Hi, my name is Isabella. I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about lacrosse and the fundamentals that come with it. So first, to start off, lacrosse is more of an East Coast sport, but it is coming to the West Coast, and I've been playing it for about 3 years now, and I'm just going to give you a couple tricks and things you can do to get started. So first, obviously, you need equipment. I have 4 sticks, but honestly, you could choose any stick. This is much more of an expensive stick. It's a gate stick. Really recommend once you start to love lacrosse and you get into it more. This was my sophomore year stick. I suggest getting either a String King or an STX. This is an STX. It's kind of on the heavier side, but it works fine. It's just a little bit heavier and it can work all years that you're playing lacrosse, no biggie. I just prefer this one because it is lighter and it has a certain type of material to the net where it makes it like really light and swift. You can also try going to thrift stores if those sticks are not in your price range. I got this one at a thrift store. It's another STX. It's kind of heavy a little bit. It's lighter than this one, but it is a little bit run down. This is like a trainer stick. So yeah, aspect of lacrosse is definitely safety. So right now we wear helmets. They kind of look like this, but a good component of lacrosse is obviously safety, and this is what pretty much everyone wears in a game unless your school says otherwise, but I do know the rules are changing to shift to helmets, so we will see. So you also need a yellow ball that looks like this. You can get them from Dick's Sporting Goods or Amazon. They're just yellow balls. Another key thing that I forgot to mention is switching hands. This is when you start to get the fundamentals down and you just switch. So let me do that again. You switch, 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 switch. If you start to get into a team as well, it's really good that you start practicing different directional things with your hands. So obviously there's right to right, there's left to left, there's right, catch left, right, they're right backhand, catch right backhand, they're right, left backhand, catch left. There's a lot of different techniques and it's really good to improve your gameplay and make sure that you're supporting your team in the best way possible. So first, to begin, I would recommend starting without a ball because it gets a little tricky when you're first starting out. So one of the key aspects of lacrosse is cradling. It's just swinging it back and forth basically to protect your net. The whole idea is to make sure that the opponents don't get the ball. So what I do is I put my hand at the bottom of the shaft, and then depends on how you like cradling. I used to cradle up here so it was closer to me, but it really depends. Some people cradle in the middle, which I do, cradle like this. Once you get the hang of it, just kind of going back and forth. It's like ear to ear, nose to ear, just trying it, and try and get that down, and then you can add a ball. So you can add the ball. Obviously it's going to be a little bit heavier, but the whole thing is security. So going back, you go back and forth, trying to keep it as secure as possible so they can't foul you and the ball will stay in your net. And obviously running and cradling is a little different than being stationary when you run. So it's a little bit harder, but you can get the hang of it with a little bit of practice. So obviously you're gonna start with your regular motion and you're just gonna start in a jump. And you're gonna keep cradling. You can do this while walking to help you with movement. Another key thing about lacrosse is the fundamentals. So it's catching, throwing, and cradling. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of catching and throwing next. Catching, basically, it's almost the same hand placement as cradling. When you throw, you're going to essentially go like this in a throwing motion. And with catching, it's just trying to cushion the ball. So when you get it thrown, take it back, cradle, make a pass. So I have a bounce back right there, and I can show you guys passing and throwing, making sure that you have your protective gear on so you don't hurt yourself, especially your face. That would be bad. essentially it's the whole catching and following through motion. You want to make sure not to release the ball too late and have enough force to throw the ball where you want. The lower you are on your stick, the farther that you're going to pass, obviously, because you have less control. The higher you are, the probably shorter you're going to throw. When you catch, you want to also make sure to cradle. It's securing the ball. So when you catch it, it's like this. Obviously, I wasn't cradling, but in a game, you'd want to cradle as soon as you catch. That is just a swift motion that's called wall ball. Another key thing of lacrosse is ground balls. So you want to be able to practice this on the floor, outside preferably, so you don't scratch the head of your stick on the floor. It's gonna be hard on your floor and you don't want your parents to get mad at you, obviously. So you take the ball, obviously, and you roll it out. Grass is really good to train this, even if you play on turf, because it's harder on grass than it is on turf, so that'll make you a little better. So basically, when you're going for the ball, you're gonna bend your knees, get your butt low to the ground, and scoop. You're gonna wanna repeat this a couple times to make sure that you got it down. Scoop, right? Scoop. And you're just gonna keep rolling it out. You could even do this while running. It kind of looks like this. The ground balls are gonna be an excellent way that you can get the ball, especially during a turnover. So to reiterate, you're gonna wanna do ground balls, catching, throwing, cradling, and making sure you have the protective gear and the equipment. So that is all for lacrosse. There are multiple rules that you're gonna wanna look at and kind of wanna know what you're getting yourself into. It's a great sport. I love it personally. And yeah, you can start at any level. It's never too late to start. It is difficult at times, but it is really rewarding in the long run if you're wanting to do it for fun or even at a competitive level. So yeah.